Good morning. I got a lot done last night in Lee. Sorry for the echo in here. This hotel room's kind of weird. Not my favorite hotel room I've ever been in, for sure. But like I said yesterday, beat sleeping outside for one night. But yeah, I had a good night in Lee. I got my laundry done. I went to Walgreens and got everything that I needed. Then at the advice of Heidi, I went over to 51 Park in the middle of Lee and had an amazing burger over there. And the guys who run the place are just amazing. I sat at the bar, I talked to a lot of people there, and it was just like really nice. And great food. Oh, I was eating it so fast, like it was delicious. If anyone from the restaurant sees this, thank you very much for the food. I'll be sure to leave a good review. I'm gonna go over next door and get some of the breakfast that they're offering here, stuff myself with that. Heidi is gonna be gracious enough again to bring me to the post office before I gotta get out of here, and then bring me to the trailhead. And it's definitely gonna rain on me today. It's super overcast out there. We're expecting about a 1/4 inch of rain, so I'm just wearing light stuff because it's gonna be warm, and I'll just throw my rain jacket on if it starts getting really bad. I'm in shorts today because it's pretty warm out there and I don't want to sweat too much. But one thing I wanted to mention, if you're in Lee, forget about the Econo Lodge. I don't want to say it too loud because the office is right next door. But Heidi owns the Pilgrim Inn, and she runs it over there with her husband, and they're pet friendly and they're awesome people, and they'll price match anything in town if you're a hiker. So you'll find her number in the Far Out app. So just text her when you're getting close to Lee, and she'll be happy to pick you up and run you around and do whatever you need to do. She does charge a little for it, but for the distance that you need to travel to get into town and stuff like that, it's well worth it. And if you stay with her, you're not gonna have to pay her extra for all the extra running around. Because I'm about 2.5 miles out of town right now, and the last thing I wanted to do was hike an extra 5 miles yesterday just to do my laundry on my 0 day, because I did do 2 miles of elevation gaining to just get to the road crossing. So I'm gonna go grab some breakfast, and then I'm gonna get on trail, and if the rain holds out, I'll see you guys later today. My plan is to head to the October Mountain Shelter, and I haven't got a chance to look at the Far Out app yet. I'm pretty sure I have one mountain I have to go over today, so catch you guys later.
Well, not everything's easy out here. It is fucking pouring today. Absolutely pouring. They weren't forecasting this. It was supposed to blow over already, and it hasn't. I can see blue skies in the distance, but that's the direction I'm heading, which means the rain's behind me. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in this, but I didn't feel like burying out my GoPro for this. Oh man, this morning's been rough. They mailed all my food to the wrong post office. They literally mailed my food back to the post office that I left in. Like, I left in Great Barrington, shipped it to Lee, Mass, and the food left Great Barrington and then came back to Great Barrington rather than going to Lee, even though it was addressed properly. So needless to say, they gave me my money back. I had to spend some money to drive all the way to Great Barrington, get my food, and then come back. Luckily, Heidi took care of me. She's amazing. Thanks again, Heidi, if you end up seeing this. Like, oh, you're a God saver. God sent. Like, it was just like, I didn't know what else I was going to do. I was going to have to piece together some food at the supermarket, and I had it all planned out. Such a shitty situation, but I'm on the trail late now, getting rained on. I got to go up over Mount Beckett, and I really don't want to be caught in another thunder and lightning storm, so I'm going to pay attention to the weather closely, and I'm not going up over that mountain until this storm system goes by, because it doesn't look like it's going to be for very long. Fingers crossed. We were only supposed to get spit on today is what the forecast said, and it's been literally pouring for the last hour. But I'll talk to you guys soon.
Well, this utterly sucks. Let me take my hood off for a minute. Doesn't really matter. I'm absolutely soaked from head to toe anyways. Like, my shoes are just like absolutely soaked right now. I'm in shorts
And the one good part about today being like this is that I haven't sweat a drop all day. I didn't feel like I've needed to drink a lot of water because of that too. So this is the first little river area where I need to fill my water. So I decided to take my pack off for a minute. I've been fucking trooping along, tanked right over Mount Beckett. Absolutely killed it. I was just like, my legs were feeling great, my back was feeling great. The pack feels good on my back right now, despite the fact that I just filled up on food. Can't explain that. Maybe it was the massive hamburger I ate last night. But I just wanted to stop, take the GoPro out for a minute as I'm getting water, because I'm probably not going to take it out again until I get to the shelter, which let's see, it's 3 o'clock now. I should be at the shelter by 5. I think I have another 3 miles to go, and it's kind of slow because the whole trail is literally just rocks and water. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can really see, but it's just like, it's just all rocks and water. But this is where I'm gonna grab some water from and then keep going. I'll see you guys over at the October Mountain Shelter. Good morning. Another day in the books. Another shelter on the trail. And more rain. It absolutely downpoured all night last night, even though the forecast didn't call for it. And we're up here at elevation, so I'm in this cloud of just mist constantly, so everything's a little bit damp and wet. Feels great. But the good news is that I felt really strong yesterday. I powered through the section of trail that I needed to do in far less time than I thought I was going to. And I have about the same type of hike today with less elevation. So I know that it's going to take me only around like 4 hours. So I've been sitting in the shelter all morning, just kind of hoping that this would clear up a bit. Because as it is, I already know that the most of the trail is going to be like a river today. And I chose to put on my clothes that I was in the rain yesterday, because I don't feel like getting the clothes that I just washed, my second set of clothes that I just washed, soaking wet when we have potential good weather coming soon. Well, my game plan today is to finish packing up. I'm going to take my sweet time getting over to the K-Wood shelter. I have to go up over what they call Warner Hill today, which shouldn't be bad. I think it's like it's just over 2,000 feet. And there's not a lot of elevation gain because I'm already up high. I'm really near October Mountain right now. But yeah, I'm gonna get over to the K-Wood shelter probably early, get out of the rain, get this stuff drying again and as quickly as possible. And game plan tomorrow is to get into Dalton and to stop at this guy Tom Lavardi's house. He's a trail angel that lives like basically right on the AT. His house is like right before you head into Dalton, and there's tons of stories about him on the Far Out former Gut Hooks app. And I've heard stories that he takes in over 800 hikers a year. He's a great guy to stop and talk to and get to know. He has a lot of stories and stuff like that, and he's known for graciously bringing people into town and things like that. I think my game plan is I just picked up my food in Lee, but I only have a couple of dinners left. A lot of snacks, but just a couple of dinners. So I'm going to try to get either Tom to take me into Pittsfield, or I'm going to take the bus into Pittsfield once I get into Dalton and see if I can resupply at the Walmart there. Because I'll also need to find some fuel pretty soon for my stove. So I'm thinking that going to Walmart's probably a good idea. So that's my plan for the next day and a half to 2 days. If I have to do a lot of running around in Dalton, Tom usually lets people tent on his lawn, and in a couple of days it's supposed to get really warm and dry. So if it's warm and dry and I can tent on his lawn, that would be great. Because my next shelter after that is going to be a considerable hike. It's I forget it's the Mark Nopal shelter right before Mount Greylock, and it's a close to a 15-mile hike day with decent elevation gain. So I'm definitely not doing that all in one day with all the stuff I need to do around town. So I need some place to stay. But that's my game plan for right now. Hopefully it clears up so that I can get a view from Warner Hill. I heard that on a clear day you can see all the way to Mount Greylock, and I'd like to be able to show that to everyone. I'd like to be able to see it myself. But we'll see. Let me just show you around the K-Wood shelter. This is the October Mountain shelter right now. Kept us pretty dry last night. Like I said, it's just a little bit damp because there was like a cloud of mist because we're up in the mountains. This is our warning to not do anything stupid about the bears. You know, like they make a gigantic metal box to put your food in, and you wouldn't think that you'd have to tell people to go put their food in it. But I guess idiots hang their food in the shelter just to keep it away from rodents, and like that's not going to do anything to deter a bear. It's just going to bring a bear into your shelter, and you're going to wake up at night and the bear's going to be up there like trying to get your food. And what are you going to tell it? Like, hey bear, that's my food, get the fuck out of here. Like, no. You can't do anything about it, you know. So don't be an idiot and hang your food in this area like where there's bear activity. If you're in a different area down south and like there's no bears, you know it's low bear activity, and you're just worried about rodents, fine, hang it in the shelter, you know. But does it really take that much effort to just walk a little bit, put it in a box? Like, you can't make this kind of stuff up, you know. But anyways, I got a good laugh out of that, and I'll catch you guys a little later today. I just wanted to show you guys real quick. I thought this area looked pretty cool. I'm in the October Mountain State Forest. I don't know, I guess a lot of these are blowdowns. I think that they're trying reforesting in this area. I don't know if they're, I don't know, it's kind of strange. It's like, it's been really dense, this entire forest so far, but that now that I'm getting closer to the road, it's just like, I don't know what happened in this area. But what was really scary before I left the October Mountain shelter, when I was just finishing packing everything up, I heard a loud snap, bang, and I'm like right behind the shelter too. It was clearly a tree falling down, you know. Immediately my thought was, shit, I hope there's not like a bear coming like behind that. So I listened really closely, nothing after that. But scared the shit out of me. It was so loud. It had to have been a really big tree. So it has me a little bit on edge today, to say the least. And then the added bonus, like I was saying before, I knew that there were going to be sections of the trail today that are just utterly flooded. Look at this. Like, this is like what I'm supposed to walk through. It's pretty ridiculous. There are large sections of this where it's just like, you can either, you know, embrace the suck and just walk through it and be soaked the rest of the day, or you have to like gingerly hop from rock to rock and try to get through. I'm going with the ginger method today because I've been wet enough lately for the last 24 hours. I'm sick of being soaked. And actually wearing my clothes, my body heat has managed to dry out all my merino stuff. So everything under my rain jacket right now is like bone dry. Like, unless I'm sweating. I'm sweating a little bit on my back, but it actually feels nice. And the socks that I have on in my shoes, despite my shoes being wet, seem to be absorbing a lot of the moisture from my shoe, so it feels like it's not, my shoe's not soaking wet anymore. I did take the little Sea to Summit towel I have last night though, and I stuffed it in the toe of each shoe for a little while and let it like absorb as much as possible because they're super absorbent. But yeah, I'm gonna have to like do a lot of hopping my way over to the K-Wood shelter today, but I'm not in too much of a rush, and the rain seemed to stop. I'm still in this like really hazy mist right now until I get down from the elevation. But I'll catch you guys in a little bit over at Warner Hill. Oh, a couple of things I forgot to mention while I'm walking through a flat part right here. Flat but still muddy and wet. Boy. Last night at the October shelter, I spent it with this really nice 26-year-old girl who lives in Brooklyn. She's originally from the West Coast. She's an artist that lives in Brooklyn. She's a painter. And she always takes a train from New York City. You can take it and you can hop on the AT somewhere in Massachusetts, like up in northern Mass. I forget which town she said it brings you to, but yeah, so well, that sucked, and I won't be doing any more filming while I'm walking on bog bridges, because what I was about to say, besides the girl, what was her name? Her trail name was Rain Dog. So it was fitting that I spent the rainy shelter last night at October Mountain with Rain Dog. But she was really nice to talk to. We bounced a lot of trail stories off of each other. She always takes the train up, and this is her 4th time doing the Massachusetts section of the trail, and then she hops back on a train and goes back into New York. And then also, before I left the shelter, this gentleman showed up by the name of Siesta, who awesome guy, who he thru hiked the PCT back in 2016. So big respect goes out to you, Siesta, if you end up seeing this. That's amazing. Like, the PCT is no joke. It's like there are water carries out there that are like are outrageously long, you know, like 20-40 mile water carries you have to do out there. It's crazy. Out here there's a stream every mile. I'm carrying a liter of water with me, you know. It's a different world out there in the West. You got to deal with grizzlies, you got to deal with the snow-capped mountains, but then the hot days and the freezing cold nights. It's wild out there. But Siesta was really nice, and we talked for a little while before I headed out on the shelter. And the one other thing is, it's fitting that I brought this up right now. Last night, when I wasn't really paying attention, literally right when I could see the October Mountain shelter, I'm like crossing a stream, and I was so excited to see the shelter. I'm like looking up at the shelter, and I took a step, and I stepped on a wet rock. I had gone over like the wettest, like worst terrain all day, and I was so careful. And I put my head down for 1 second, and I slipped, and I smashed my hip and my shin again, you know, because I don't have a second trekking pole. If I had a second trekking pole, I would have been able to catch myself 100%. So I cannot wait until I get into Dalton to get that other trekking pole part. But then right here, I was stepping on one of the bog bridges that was just really wet, and it was uneven, and I slipped, and I just stubbed my toe really, really bad. A toe that I had stubbed on night number 1. It is not feeling too hot right about now, but I don't know, worst case scenario, I'll take my shoe off in a little bit, take a look at it, maybe tape it up if I need to, but I'm just gonna tank on. Catch you guys later. Well, sometimes out here in the wilderness kind of bites you in the snack bag. And what I mean by that is, I just realized when I went to try to get some Tylenol out of the bottom of my snack bag that my Tylenol had been chewed on, and I'm like, what? I'm confused. That's the only thing that I left. I left one electrolyte pack in my snack bag, and then just my my little tiny thing of extra strength Tylenol. And apparently last night during the rain, when I couldn't hear shit, a stupid fucking mouse chewed into my snack bag and tried to chew through the Tylenol for some reason. I didn't know rodents are attracted to the smell of medication too, you know. So I'm gonna have to start throwing all that stuff with my toiletries into the bear box with everything else, because that's ridiculous. I had a nice that nice pack from Chicken Tramper, and it's got a nice hole in it now. I have some Gatorade tape that I can fix it up with, but I need it to be dry, so I'm gonna have to like clean it up the next time I'm in a hotel or something, and throw some tape in it. For the time being, I'm just gonna throw all my snacks inside a Ziploc inside the bag, and I cleaned it out really good with a wilderness wipe, and cleaned off everything that was inside of it with wilderness wipes, so that, you know, in case there was any sort of mouse residue or feces or whatever in there, that it's not all over my stuff. But you know, not something you plan on. Wilderness just kind of smacks you in the face. I texted my wife about it, and she's like, well, welcome to the wilderness. So here I am. Let me show you guys real quick what this thing did to my snack bag. Look at this. You can see. Look at this hole. Bastard. And I didn't even hear it. I mean, because it was raining just so hard on the roof last night. I thought I felt something at one point run by my legs. That's the one thing I don't like about shelters. It's like when you're in your tent, you know, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, I'm gonna check the forecast for the night when I get to the K-Wood, and if the forecast is good, or if no one else shows up at the shelter, I might just set my tent up inside the shelter. You know, but then again, maybe the stupid mouse will chew through my tent at that point. You know, especially if I have any snacks with me. But lesson learned. You know, I'm glad it was just my snack bag. I can order a new one of those. If it was any part of my Osprey pack, it would have been a real pain. So I don't know. I'm gonna deal with it for right now, and that held me out quite a bit. So what time is it? Actually, I only lost about 15 minutes, so call it a snack break. Talk to you guys soon. Well, today has been really slow moving because everything out here after the rainfall yesterday is a hazard. I already showed you guys earlier how like most of the trail has just been water, and it's like it's a death trap out here, like for your ankles and your knees and your toes, like right now, and your shins for that matter. It's just like everything's a hazard. The rocks are wet, so you can't step on the rocks. The roots are wet, so you can't step on the roots. Your feet are getting muddy, so when you step on the bog bridges, which I just crossed like 10,000 of, it's super sketchy because you don't know if you're gonna slip and slide or whatnot. And then like when all that's fine, you have the leaves. And the leaves are covering mud that you slide on, they're covering roots, they're covering rocks, and they're wet themselves, and even on flat ground, you'll slide on them sometimes. It's crazy out here. So like the last couple miles, so I don't hurt myself anymore, I've just been going as slow as possible, like as slow as needed, I should say. And then I finally found like that I'm starting to climb, and this is the first time I've been thankful that I'm actually ascending elevation on this trail, because it means that I'm going to get away from some of this water. But again, all the rocks that I have to climb up right now, which is pretty steep, are all super slick, and I have this massive pack on my back. And one pole that I'm working with, which I was thinking that if I had 2 poles through that bog section, I would have been so much better off. So I cannot wait to get to Dalton to get the other piece of my pole that I'm missing. Like I could probably grab a stick and make do with it, but I just don't feel like going through that. And I've been walking through cedar forests that just smell amazing, and I'm trying to find some cedar that's down so that I can just grab it and throw it inside my snack bag to try to just make it smell like cedar at night, so that more mice don't try to chew into it again after I fix it. I don't really know how I'm going to solve that. Other than that, I'm going to have to wipe it down every night when I take my snacks out of it. But I'm glad I didn't put my snacks in my Osprey pack, because that would have sucked. But here, let me show you real quick where I got to go up next. So I don't know if you can tell how steep that is, but yeah, you know, I guess in retrospect, I should have been on the Stairmaster with 50 pounds on my back. Talk to you guys soon. Well, it looks like I got lucky. I got up here, and there's a little bubble of blue skies above me, and I actually have some visibility, and the sun's trying to poke out, and it's pretty amazing out here. On a clear day, they say you can see all the way to Greylock, and I'm not really sure which one Mount Greylock is. It would have to be the biggest one out there. It might be in the distance even further. But check this out. This is the view from the Warren Hill summit. It was a really easy climb up. But I'm so glad that I got a view here. They say you can see I think that's Pittsfield down in the valley down there, and I guess Greylock would be more north, so it would be that mountain right there in the back that you can see. I'll be crossing over that in let's see, I'm gonna be in Dalton tomorrow. I'll be at the NOBO shelter the night after that. So in about 3 days, I'm gonna be crossing over that mountain. And a lot of ridges to get there. Man, oh, it's beautiful up here. I gotta get hiking though. I gotta descend off of this, go up one more ridge, and then down over some power lines, and then I'm gonna be at the shelter for the night. And crazy enough, I finally ran into another northbounder. He's already done 300 something miles. He said he hasn't seen a single other person go in the direction that we're going, and I'm gonna be sharing the shelter with him. He seems like he's a really nice guy. So I think he said he only has another day or two of what he's planning. So I'm beginning to think that he's probably going to Greylock and finishing at Greylock, but I'll find out tonight. Yeah, beautiful out here, absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy that I got a view up here. It makes it totally worth it. I was just head down, man on a mission. I'm like probably I'm only like 0.2 away from my planned shelter for the night, and I just like really wanted to get there because my toe is killing me, the one that I smashed earlier while I was recording. I need to, like, it's all bruised up bad and stuff, so I've been hiking through it today. I just taped it up and kept going. But I wasn't expecting another view today, but it's clear enough, and I'm here at these power lines, so check this out. You can see, I believe that's Greylock all the way in the distance. Absolutely amazing. And this is where I'm headed. Catch you guys in a bit. Oh, it's starting to spit on me. Lovely. Good morning, everyone. Pretty uneventful night for the most part. I made it to the shelter here, the K-Wood shelter. Pretty nice shelter. I spent the night here last night with this gentleman named G from Florida. Really nice guy. We got talking for a little while about some things. It was cool. And then late night, this guy that goes by the name Tent Potato showed up like around 11 o'clock at night. And the funny thing about Tent Potato is that he has been hiking since the 1st of October in a full Woody from Toy Story onesie costume, including the hat and everything. I thought that was hilarious, and I snapped a picture of it. It was pretty funny. The one bad thing is that my other Virgin Outdoors shirt, my red one that I've been wearing, I found that there's like a big massive hole in the back of the like where the tag is, where the tag should be, and it looks like it ripped and failed when it was wet. I don't know if I caught it on something on my pack or something like that, maybe while it was wet and ripped it. It might have been partially my fault, but I don't feel like a piece of gear like that should fail in like 8 days. So I'm going to be calling them on my way to Dalton today and see what they can do for me. I am going to be passing through Lincoln, New Hampshire at some point, so if I can sew it and make it to Lincoln, New Hampshire with it, I'll just do that and see if I can exchange it when I get there. Hopefully they honor that. They seem like they're a pretty good company. My other plans for today are I'm going to be stopping at this guy Tom Lavardi's house, who's like the well-known trail angel, who has a house right on the AT. I'm looking forward to meeting him and seeing what that's all about. There's a lot of cool stories in the Far Out app about Tom, so they claim that he's like the best guy to meet on the trail, so I'm like really excited. I messaged him last night to let him know that I'm coming, so he will be there. I'm excited about that. And then I'll just take a bus and hopefully a bus into Pittsfield, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty rainy night again for the 3rd night in a row, so I'm not trying to tent out tonight. I'm probably just going to get a hotel room in either Pittsfield or Dalton. And then after that, I'm going to be on trail without any towns for a little while. I will be going through Cheshire, but I'm just going to camp. I'm going to tent out there. The weather's supposed to be nice the rest of the week, and I'll be going over Greylock, Mount Greylock in Mass, the high point in Mass later in the week. But what I'm projecting, if everything goes well, fingers crossed,
I should be hitting the Vermont border in about 4 days. So I got a lot of hiking between here and there, and a lot of ups and downs to go through, but we'll see how it goes. But you can see this is just another shelter, just like all the other shelters I've been in. K-Wood shelter, pretty nice. Just 3 of us in here, 2 in the bottom bunk last night, and Woody there took the top bunk. So you can see it's a pretty good drop off here. They have 2 bear boxes here and a pretty nice privy, and then the water is just down that little blue blaze right there. It was a pretty convenient little shelter, and I got here before the rain started letting out again, so I got most of my stuff dry-ish, not really, but I do have a dry pair of clothes on today that I hadn't touched yet. I hiked in wet clothes yesterday, purposely preparing for this. So I'm gonna hike the 3 miles into town. Maybe I'll shoot some footage while I'm in Dalton, and I'll catch you guys later. What a beautiful area. The sun's starting to poke through the clouds. It's starting to get hot out here. I think that today is going to be around a high of 67, but I just thought that this looked amazing. I've been following this river or this brook for a little while now, and it's just so gorgeous to walk next to. It's amazing out here. Just heading my way into Dalton right now, and I'm feeling pretty good today. I wish I was hiking today, but I got too much to do in Dalton, so. Well, I made it out of the sticks and onto the road, and I'm walking my way through Dalton right now to Tom Lavardi's, and then I'm gonna find myself something delicious to eat, because I am about ready for something non-freeze dried again. And I'm out of my freeze dried meals, so that's part of the reason why I have to go into Pittsfield today and find something for dinners besides the instant mashed potatoes that I have left, which is the only thing that I have left. But the day is just turning into a beautiful day out here, and I'm happy to be out of the woods for a few minutes, to be perfectly honest. So I'm gonna try to have a good day today, despite how I woke up with my shirt ripped and all that jazz. So what's his name, Tent Potato and his Woody outfit like really kind of put me in a good mood. So but I gotta check the map, make sure that I don't walk past Lavardi's, so I'll be able to show you guys where I'm going. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Well, Operation Laundromat successful. I have to say, anybody that ever comes into Dalton, Mass, the laundromat there is absolutely amazing. Like, it's like the nicest laundromat I've ever been in my life. And the lady who runs it is like one of the nicest ladies I've ever met in my life. She helped me out like with several things while I was there. Let me use the Wi-Fi because I don't have the best signal out here, and I was able to get everything done. So I booked myself a hotel room in Pittsfield, and I spent up a little on the hotel room this time because I really want to use a hot tub and get some swimming in, and they have an indoor pool, so that's going to make all my muscles feel really good. Spoil myself a little bit after being in the woods for, you know, the better part of a week. And yeah, so I got all that taken care of. Oh, and you know what I found? Really random. Inside one of my Crocs, which was hitting the part of my foot where I thought I had a blister on my right foot, there was a needle. There was literally a needle jammed in the inside of my Croc. I have no idea how it got there. My guess is I probably picked it up in one of my socks at one point, and then proceeded to jam it into my foot and into the Croc. But the thing was a good inch long, and I didn't notice it until I went to put my Crocs on in the laundromat. So I'm glad I got that taken care of, and maybe that'll solve my whole blister problem on my right foot. But for now, I'm walking
back to the Methodist church on the corner so that I can take a bus into Pittsfield, which is only going to cost me like $1.75 from what they told me. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. So yeah, I'm gonna pit stop, maybe at Walmart on the way. I doubt it. I'll probably go drop my pack first and then go to Walmart. But I'll catch you guys a little later. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in Vermont. As always, I appreciate any likes, comments, and especially subscriptions. Tank out.